When you hear the wind blowing, the water drops dripping, or just running down a street, you hear a natural symphony, beautiful rainy day. Fortunately, even during a rainy, cold December morning like this, these steep hills full of vineyards are just astonishing. And so is this. Inside it doesn't matter what weather is outside. It doesn't matter what news are on. It's just you, the car, and the world. Rolls-Royce have been producing cars since ever to make you feel special and forget everything around you. A very similar experience to a spa in your favorite resort.
I literally haven't been in a car that I fell in love that much. Because all of the other cars, supercars, Lamborghinis, Ferraris, Aventadors, there's always a thing that you'll be like, they could have done this better. I don't like this. The engine doesn't make enough noise, or there's not enough power, or the steering is not right, or something. Every single millimeter of this interior is a pleasure to touch. There's not even one thing, probably even under the seat, that you will touch and you'll be like, oh, that's not the right material they chose here. Oh, they could have done it better. It's a bit ugly or something. Not at all. Every single thing I'm touching here, it is like amazing. Like, wow, the stitching, the buttons, the materials that they've chosen in this car, even the spec in exactly this one that we're driving with sort of very light white seats, dark blue leather, light blue leather, is just stunning. Even the aircon, the button that's made to change the aircon, the way it shifts is a pleasure. It's all nice and smooth. The gear shifter, you know, I don't really like those gear shifters, like, you know, like in those American cars they do. But here it's the similar style, but the way they made it, it's so satisfying to just push it down. I think they even thought about the click that it makes. This is unbelievable. And for example, a lot of people say, yeah, Rolls-Royces are using technology from BMW, such as the infotainment system. But to be honest with you, I love it. The way that they have integrated here just works perfectly, and you know how it works.
The design language in the interior is nothing to be compared with any executive luxury sedans nowadays. Just look at the combination of perfect lines and leather colors. Rolls-Royce experience means you get a flip-up screen unveiling from the dashboard, the Spirit of Ecstasy on your iDrive selector, metal-crafted speakers, and of course the iconic starlights healing with shooting stars. Details is what matters. Just like this boot closing button, there is space in the rear for everyone, your children, your friends, and your big friends as well.
When brands like Lamborghini and Ferrari challenge each other and they argue, oh, our cars are better, ours are faster, 0 to 100, they count it in 0.001 millisecond, and then every single year they come up with new aerodynamics, new styling, new engines, new everything, just to be better, just to be faster, just to be on top of their marketing game. Rolls-Royce guys are just sitting there on the side and like, kindergarten. We're the bosses, we are just making the best cars out there. Point. They don't even have a proper competition on the market. They're just on their own. They're like in their own Rolls-Royce bubble. I don't know why, but that sounds amazing. They don't care about anything. They're just producing the ideal cars out there.
Rolls-Royce has created the ideal all-rounder, and this thought reminds me of how once I considered my AMG GTS being an all-rounder. Believe me, the Rolls is totally in a different league. The sheer size of the Wraith is the same as a standard SUV, and this being only a coupe. If inside the attention to details are omnipresent, on the exterior we have a bold design with minimalistic lines and shapes. The signature grille is easily recognizable, and it's not too big or too wide. Now, let's see what happens when you put your foot down.
This car is not about numbers at all, like at all, but still there are a few things that I would just like to mention, is that in this beast, literally beast, we have a V12 6-liter engine that produces 624 horsepower, guys, and it's a rear wheel drive. What? And the car weighs 2.5 tons. So if you add all this together, then you understand that you're driving a Titanic. Titanic was powered by coal, if I'm not mistaken. This is powered by 98 gasoline, and believe me, a lot of it. But every single liter that's being spent in here is literally just orgasm. And when you push the accelerator, it's like putting your leg into a big bucket of warm butter. You know, like it's all smooth and you're like, yes. You don't need to think about the gearbox, you don't need to think about gear changes, you don't even need to think about anything. You don't even have a rev counter here. The only counter you have is speed and power reserve in percentage, which just technically gives you the information whether you have 100% of power available right now or not. You don't need to know anything more. You don't need to flood your brain with useless information when you're just driving to sign your new deal for a private jet. The car I'm driving right now costs 430,000 Swiss francs because we're in Switzerland. Probably that would be around 380,000 euros. Yes, it's a lot of money, like a lot of money. But you know what? Every single penny, every single euro that you have paid for this car, you will get it back. Believe me. There's not even one thing that I can say, oh my god, this car is overpriced. Not at all. Probably literally the only thing I don't like is that on that carpet there's a little leather piece for my heel when I push the pedal, and because I have rubber sneakers, it squeals a bit. Literally the only problem.
After a lot of driving and relaxing behind the wheel, I decided to add this car to my bucket list.
If I would have 400,000 for a car right now, I wouldn't buy a Lamborghini, I wouldn't buy a Ferrari, I would not buy a Bentley. I would walk into Rolls-Royce dealership and I would just place an order. And probably ordering one is even as amusing as driving one, because the amount of choices and the amount of trims that you have for this car is just insane, for all the pieces of leather and the carpets and the seats and the outside colors and the stripe. My god.
And in usual Misha on Wheels style, I added another smart thought.
This car is your ideal wife. It's a car that you're not gonna have for 1 year and sell. It's a car that you marry once and for life. And believe me, this car will never betray you. It will cook you dinner, it will cook you breakfast, it will make the hottest and the best love that you could even imagine. I would marry one.
To conclude on this day, the car is a true masterpiece made with all the necessities and luxury for the driver. The isolation is on a high level, the ride is a cloud, and it doesn't push you to drive fast. Ideal for Switzerland, I would say. Overall, I would own one in one breath, and hopefully this will become true one day.
Guys, we're going to cut out of the whole amazing feeling of the car. We need some of your help with our channel. Please subscribe to our channel. Please put a like button. It will really help us to create more content. A lot more amazing content. We love to do those beautiful cinematic car reviews, but we need your help here. We need your subscribe, we need your like button, and we need your comment. Thank you guys. See you next time.
But when it comes to her, you better keep it sealed. Don't you dare say a single